Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be talking about the PS5 game reveal. I know most of the people who click on the video are going to have a very strong opinion on the topic, but I would appreciate it if you watched all the way through so you don't come out with the wrong idea and impression of what I'm trying to say. Before I could talk about the show, I have to start by saying how stale the first half of the year was for gaming. A lot of games got canceled and delayed because of COVID, and it was really sad because the first half of the year was devoid of games. A few of those games were KSP2, Cyberpunk 2077, and Dying Light 2. When I heard that Microsoft and Sony were going to show off their new games for next gen, I finally had something to be excited for, even if I'd have to wait till the end of the year to try some of them. But after watching Microsoft and Sony's conferences, I realized that next gen won't be that exciting at first. Although, while watching the Unreal Engine 5 demo, I was very excited. So hopefully once that launches, the games will improve. I think both Microsoft and Sony had some good things and some bad things, but both of their conferences ended up at around the same level, a 4 out of 10 in terms of excitement. But I wanted to go over why that is, and I hope that by seeing why this was a bad thing, they can hopefully improve on all of their conferences next, because I heard there would be one for Sony and one for Microsoft. I just hope that this will give you a better idea of what went wrong and why it went wrong, and hopefully if someone from Sony or Microsoft sees this, they could see what went wrong as well. So, the things that went wrong was that the conference tried to include every genre of game except for shooters. Now, when you want to release a console with a bunch of games, you don't want to miss out on one of your bigger genres. Some of them would be RPGs, another would be shooters, and another would be fighting games. The next thing I didn't like about the conference is that when watching the games, a lot of them were indie, and you could tell that they looked like they could run on the Switch, which is a bad thing because when you're gonna buy a console for your kid, right? Because a lot of the indie games were for kids, you're not gonna want to pay $500, right? Just to play like a really light game when you can get a Nintendo Switch, play Animal Crossing and the myriad of other games, Mario, all of that crap, right, on a much cheaper $200, I think less, sometimes even less now, dollar console. It's not worth it. I think when they did that, they relied too heavily on indie games, and that leads me to my third point. When you're showing off a new console, why would you show off games that don't utilize the power of the console? Why wouldn't you show off what the console could do that the last console couldn't? Because when I watched that, there was only one game that did that. And, well, actually, I guess two. NBA 2K, right? But that's pretty much a given considering it's done on Frostbite, and Forza. But that's a racing game. Everyone knew that was going to happen, and everyone knew it was going to look fantastic, because all racing games look fantastic. I think what Sony needs to do, and Microsoft, is if they do another game reveal or anything like that, they need to make more of an emphasis on the games being truly next gen. Because if a game isn't truly next gen and you're marketing your console, it's like, why am I buying the new hardware? Okay, fine, maybe faster loading times, maybe 60 frames a second instead of 30, but there's no point. What generational leap am I getting? You go from the PS3 to the PS4, you got better graphics, better lighting, better textures. PS2 to PS3, way better lighting, higher poly counts, better physics, more powerful, everything about it was pretty much better. And the PS1 and PS2 were pretty close. The only thing that the PS2 had over the PS1 was more polygons. Really made a difference. It allowed for more freedom and more creativity. And not everything would have to be like 100 polygons, which is really hard to make a game in. To pay $500 just to get faster loading times is ludicrous. It's not worth it. If This is why in my next video I'm going to be going over how the consoles should have gone out in 2022, and how it would be a much better strategy both for Sony and Microsoft, because it would set themselves up for a much better generation. If you liked the video, like it. If you disliked it, obviously dislike it. And subscribe if you want to see my next two videos on why the PS5 and Xbox Series X should have launched in 2022. The both of them, and why the pricing and timing of these new consoles will be the only deciding factor between them, instead of exclusives like every generation prior to this one. As always, thanks for watching and have a great day.